We have a delivery to a restaurant today. And the big thing, guys, is just the weather. It has just been raining constantly and just everything is soaked. We are just mudded out. Here in Northeast Ohio, at least in our area, the ground has been so saturated that trees are blowing over in these storms. And so we've been without power. Our power keeps flickering on and off. Other people got it a lot worse than we do, but man, it has just been so intensely hot and humid. And then later in the day, these big storms come through and there's just, what can you do? And this load was supposed to go out a couple days ago and it's just soaking wet. This is going to a restaurant in Youngstown. There is an area of Youngstown called Cornersburg, and this is a family diner that we have delivered to for about 2.5 years. And they like a mix of cherry and maple. We got some beech in there also, and they have a smoker that they use on the weekends. My master plan with moving everything back there is I'm going to start phasing out this area, and that's why you don't see me putting any wood in here. But with this weather, I'm starting to rethink it now because it's just too wet back there and there's nowhere for me to stack the wood. So we're gonna be, probably my next round of maple, I have about 6 cords coming down the pike. I think I'm just gonna put them in here and start using this again. And my plan was to get all of this away from the house and away from the barn for a lot of reasons. But it always seems like the weather has the biggest effect on a firewood business. I didn't know I didn't know it was going to be like this when I got into firewood. Nobody told me there'd be days like these. Strange days indeed. But imagine dry weather. It can happen to us one day, huh? All right, guys, let's get in the truck. Let's hit the road. As always, I log my miles, and that's one of your benefits when you become a registered business, is all of your delivery is tax deductible. So I just printed myself up a spreadsheet. I have copies in both my trucks. Any business mileage that I do is deductible. All right, guys, here we go. I picked this restaurant up a couple years ago, and this was before the YouTube channel. I picked this up through social media. I have a Facebook page, and this restaurant had a post that they were looking for someone to deliver them firewood for their smoker. They couldn't find anyone. And a follower of my Facebook page forwarded me their post. So of course I reached out to them and was able to become their supplier. This is not a high volume account, but with restaurants, it is a cumulative effect. It's almost, if anyone's been a landlord before, it's almost like passive income, although you got to work for it. But it is something that you can predict, as income that keeps coming in throughout the year. This situation where we deliver is a little different, though. They have a real big backyard and a storage garage. And I have to drive across the grass and deliver, and stack it, which is no problem. But when we're dealing with monsoon season here, as we're going into July, I'm a little worried. So I might have to survey the grounds before I take my truck out onto it. Anyone who knows with a 2-wheel drive pickup truck, they'll get stuck on flat, dry pavement in July. They don't get very good traction. So Cornersburg is an interesting area of Youngstown. It's at where there are 4 places. There's Youngstown, Boardman, Austintown, and Canfield. And it's right where all 4 of these cities meet. And this area has become known as Cornersburg. And Cornersburg is famous for its pizza. Cornersburg pizza is a local delicacy here in the Mahoning Valley. And of course, this restaurant that we're delivering to, they have a hamburger, which is awesome. It's called the Corners Burger. If you're ever out this way, check it out. let's see what we're getting into. It's pretty firm. I think we'll be okay. Okay, so we're going to, we'll get all this pulled out. It's hot and humid. I always bring an extra shirt with me and water, but the benefit right now is we got some really thick clouds, so I'm not in the sun going to get sunburned. All right, here we go. Everything, this wood is just soaking wet. You know, my cover's gotten wet. Everything is wet, and it's just one of the things. I still tell my customers, because they ask me the same thing, should I cover my wood? And I tell them, you know, unless you're going to burn it later today or tomorrow, and you know it's going to rain, go ahead and cover that. I just tell people let it get rained on. I don't see the benefit of covering it up. So that's what this restaurant does here. And even though this wood's sopping wet, it'll dry off pretty quick. I picked up 2 other consistent customers because of this restaurant. The one was a customer and who had asked, you know, about their smoker and where they get their wood. And he is he has a barbecue pit at his house, and he has parties and he entertains all the time, and he buys a lot of firewood off of me. And the other one was an employee, you know, that just his daughter burns firewood, and he felt I was someone that he could trust, you know, that wouldn't rip her off. So that's the benefits. It's not just the revolving income that you get, but it provides you more opportunities, especially if you do it right. You know, it's really, what do they say? It's real easy to get a bad reputation, and it takes a while to get a good reputation. So do what I can. I had a customer 2 weeks ago, and he was just looking for a little bit of firewood, and he was struggling. He said he was calling around and people would only deliver a cord or a 2-cord minimum. He says, I don't want that much wood. And I asked him, I says, can you cut that in half? He says, I'll pay you extra for it. And they just wouldn't do it. And that is, I think, I see that happening where, you know, to each their own. If that's the way you want to make a buck, then go for it. But when you commit to the customer, when you give the customer what they want, you know, there's an opportunity for, you know, a premium charge there. And I turned out to deliver this gentleman a half a cord of firewood for more than what, you know, the other guy was, you know, not wanting to deliver a full cord, you know. And the customer was as pleased as can be. Okay, my firewood's awesome, and you know, our delivery is, you know, world class. I take a lot of pride in our delivery. But that is exactly what the customer wanted, and I was the only firewood guy around that would deliver that. So of course I can charge a premium for those kind of things. I put myself in the shoes of that firewood guy, you know, that wouldn't deliver the firewood to the customer because he wanted a 2-cord minimum. Now, what did he have to lose to split that load up and make it smaller? And you know, if he would have had 3 more customers for that same amount of firewood, he could have doubled his profit on that 1 cord of firewood, or that 2 cords of firewood. So I think, you know, we get set in our ways, but I think that we got to keep looking for different markets and different ways to make a buck. You know, firewood's a tough enough industry as it is, but whatever you can do to add value to your firewood, and certainly quantity, delivering smaller quantities is a value. And that is a way to make things easier on you and your equipment and increase your profits. This thing really works good for me. It keeps me from jumping in and out of the back of the truck, but it also keeps all of the crumbs off of the customer's driveway, or in this case their yard. And it's just another element of customer service. One of the other benefits too about delivering to restaurants, there's like something that happens when you smell the food getting cooked and you see, you know, the final product of smoking a a brisket or wings. It makes me wonder, because I'm not into cooking at all, but I've been thinking maybe I should get myself a smoker and experiment with it. So I don't know. I've never ever thought, you know, we have a barbecue grill. I don't like the grill. I don't know. I just don't like doing it. And when we do have cookouts and I have to do the grilling, it's not fun for me. But now after doing Firewood and seeing, you know, all of the smokers that, you know, that we have on our route, I think I might want to give it a shot. So let me know if you guys are barbecuers, if you have any recommendations. I think I've noticed too, I've been watching different YouTube videos of barbecue channels, and you know, I had delivered wood to Weekend Warrior Barbecue, which is a YouTube channel, and that, you know, really got my rusty gears grinding in my head, thinking there's a way I can make this work. So stay tuned. Okay, this is our last row. Guys, it is hot. I am just soaking wet. One of the things that I have learned, now this is going back to my baseball days, was I wear 2 t-shirts. I keep a t-shirt underneath my work shirt, and if I'm doing multiple deliveries, I can change out my white t-shirt underneath and then keep my uniform shirt dry. Because I don't have as many of these. You know, white t-shirts are pretty cheap. So that's a little trick that I do. I used to do that in baseball. When I would get too hot and sweaty, I would just change my undershirt and keep on playing. And then on top of that, water, water, and water. And it is a challenge, you know, especially during the pandemic. You know, I would always stop at a fast food restaurant and use the bathroom. And that becomes a challenge after a while when you drink all this water and you gotta go. Occupational hazard. Man, it is nice when you have all your wood is the exact same length. It just makes stacking so much easier, and it looks so much nicer too. And just like that, we are done. It is time to get in the air conditioning, and we're gonna head back. I got another load that's gonna be going out. We got storms that are coming through later today, so I'm trying to get all this done now. So I'm going to Velcro my unloader, and then we are going to hit the long and winding road home. All right, guys, I really appreciate you watching and coming along for the ride. And hey, I'm staying dry right now. And give us a thumbs up for the video. Remember, we post videos every Wednesday and Sunday. I got flies flying around me here. And don't forget to check out our online store. We have our t-shirts and our stickers on sale. All proceeds go to my daughter to help pay for her college. Guys, I hope that everyone has a great day.